Okay, now I'm using Gapminder dataset. Pause the video and try to do this on your own. Visualize the relationship between life expectancy, GDP per capita, and continent in 2007. So in this case, we have three variables: life expectancy, GDP per capita, and continent. Of these, two variables are quantitative and one variable is qualitative. Life expectancy and GDP are quantitative while continent is qualitative. A suitable visualization would be a scatter plot and color the points with respect to the qualitative variable. Furthermore, we want to visualize data only for the year 2007. If you look at the Gapminder dataset, you have data since 1952. We don't want all of them, so first we need to filter data for 2007 and do the plotting. So to answer the question, we need data wrangling skills as well. Here is the solution. First, I use filter function to extract data only for 2007. The name of my new data frame is Gapminder 2007. This is the data layer, Gapminder 2007. Next comes the aesthetic layer. X is life EXP, Y is GDP per cap, color is continent. Next, geometric layer. So I have geom underscore point. Um, I use theme layer to place the legend at the bottom. Next, labeling. You can see in this example, I dropped a few other layers such as coordinate scales. You do not need to use all of the layers that we discussed above or that we discussed in the previous video clip, but you should specify data layer, aesthetic layer, and geometric layer. Then only you can view something. Next, let's look at some other geoms. Geom underscore v line. So geoms have a specific format. They always have a geom underscore then the specific geometric type. So geom v line can be used to add a vertical line. Notice that this plot contains two geoms in the same graph. ggplot allows you to call up several geoms in the same plot. Here I gave x-intercept equals 7, so the line is positioned at 7. X-intercept equals 70, so the line is positioned at 70. If we want to give a color to the line, you can pass color equals red inside inside geom underscore b line. If you want to customize the line type, then you can pass line type equals within double quotations dashed. So since we have two geoms, we have points as well as the vertical line. To draw a horizontal line on the current plot, you can use geom H line. It draws a horizontal line on the current plot at the specified y coordinate. To add a diagonal line, you can use geom ab line. Geom ab line adds a line with specified slope and intercept to the plot. This is a list of gems available in the ggplot2 package. If you use the command help dot search within parentheses, the first argument is double quotations geom underscore comma package equals double quotations ggplot2. Then you can view the available geoms in the ggplot2 package. I'll post that command help search command with the slides as a comment um, in the Google Classroom as well as in the LMS. Next, geom box plot. Box plots are useful for comparing distributions between many groups. Box plots are useful as they provide a visual summary of the data, enabling researchers to quickly identify average, the dispersion of the data set, and signs of skewness. Visualizing data using box plots may make it makes it possible to identify potential outliers in the data. Box plots have the advantage of taking up less space compared to histogram and density plot. Here, life expectancy is mapped to X. Uh, and continent is mapped to Y. Geom underscore box plot draws a box plot. Now the distribution of life expectancy for each continent is displayed. In this case, we use here we have one quantitative variable and one qualitative variable. Next, I pass an additional aesthetic, that's color equals continent. You can use the first three letters or the full word. So you can that means you can use here col, COL, or you can use British or US spellings, COLOUR or COLOR equals continent. Now the box plot plots outline color. Now the box plot outline color is controlled by the levels of the variable in the continent. We have 5 levels on the continent, that's Africa, Americas, Asia, Europe, and Oceania. To change interior color, use fill equals continent instead of color equals continent. Here I've passed fill equals forest green inside geom box plot. Now all box plots take the same color for forest green. Alpha parameter can be used to control the transparency. Here I pass alpha equals 0.5 so that I can see through the plots. Here, instead of using geom underscore blocks plot, I use geom underscore point. Now data are represented through points. Here I replaced geom points with a geom underscore jitter. Geom jitter adds a small amount of random variation to the location of each point. This is a useful way of handling overplotting in the data. Overplotting means one or more points are in the same place or close enough to the same place that you can't look at the plot and tell how many points are there. Jittering is often used to spread out points that would otherwise be overplotted. For example, in the earlier graph, so if you notice these 2 points, they are kind of overlapped. With geom jitter, uh, we can clearly see uh, the 2 points are we can clearly see those 2 points separately. You can add a box plot layer on top of the geom jitter layer by passing plus geom underscore box plot. Now in this case we have two layers for two geometric layers. That's one is jitter, the other layer is box plot. In order to see through the box plots, I also added alpha equals 0.5. Now you can see the underlying plots through the box plots. If you remove alpha 0.5, you will not see the point fall inside boxes. Next, I swap layers. Earlier geom jitter first, next geom underscore box plot. Now the first geometric layer is box plot, and the second one is geom jitter. Now points appear above the box plots. ggplot2 will create plots layers by layers, and within each layer the plotting order is defined by the geom type. Next, fill the interior of the box plot by mapping continent to the aesthetic fill option. Here I passed aesthetical equals continent inside jitter layer to color the points according to its associated continent. Here you can see the outliers are plotted twice, here and here. The black outlier comes with the geom box plot layer. The colorful ones are associated with a geom jitter layer. We don't want to plot outliers twice. So here, inside geom box plot, I passed outlier dot shape equals NA. Now geom box plot won't plot the outliers. We get outliers only through geom jitter. Here I mapped a continent to color. Here col equals continent. Now the outlines of the box plots are not black. They take the associated color of the continent. Here I add alpha transparency to see through the graph. Now you can clearly see the points inside the box plot. Here I use the coordinate layer to flip x and y axis. Now life expectancy is in y axis and continent is in x axis. So you can see I added all these different things piece by piece to make plot a little bit more interesting every single time. You should You should be able to interpret the plots as well. So here, if you look at Oceania, Oceania contains only two countries. They are Australia and New Zealand. Life expectancy of Australia and New Zealand, they are very similar. Um, that's why the box plot is very tight. Africa has the lowest life expectancy. There's one country in Asia with life expectancy lower than 30. Median life expectancy in Europe is higher than Americas and Asia. If you want to draw up one single box plot for life expectancy, here is the code. Only the life expectancy column is mapped to aesthetic. To create separate panels for life expectancy, I added the layer faceting, facet underscore wrap. You can also specify the number of columns here. If you try facet underscore wrap continent tilde dot, then you will get a row wise arrangement. Uh, to create a density plots, you can use a geom density. Um, you can also try geom underscore histogram instead of geom density. Then it will give you histograms. Now I wanted to modify the code here to output this to output this plot.